California Schools Joint Powers Authority is really comprised of two separate joint powers authorities. CEBA is the benefits arm. It provides employee benefits, dental, vision, medical, life. It's comprised half of labor and half of management. It comprised 5 counties, in Los Angeles County, Orange County, San Bernardino and Riverside, and then San Diego. Our other risk pool is California Schools Risk Management. The risk management JPA is primarily focused in San Bernardino, but we are a statewide organization. And so we do have districts as far as Kern County and all the way into the east end of San Bernardino County, Riverside.
So what kind of changes have you been seeing in the workers' comp and liability system in the last few years?
Well, workers' comp, we're still seeing a lot of stress is coming back. We're seeing stress cases. We're seeing employee practice matters as it relates to workers' comp. And liability, the big thing, and probably what's keeping me up most at night, is an area that really ties into my schooling, and that is inappropriate relationships. So it's the sexual abuse and molestation, otherwise known as SAM claims, and we're seeing those statewide. Not only statewide, but actually within our country, all over. We're probably more hit here in California, because in California we're one of those states that does not have tort reform, and so we're feeling it in our pockets a little bit more than perhaps some of the other states might be. It's affecting public schools all across our state though, and it is getting to a point where we as a pooling industry and public sector in general, public scholastic sector, we're coming together to try to see what we can do to address this phenomenon that's happening. It's taking away dollars from classrooms, and that's not good for our students.
So what is your organization doing to curb that trend?
We have a few things that we're doing to curb the trend that we're seeing as it relates to SAM cases. A really robust education program, so I have an online training. Our training was in part developed by a forensic psychologist who put a lot of time into really digging down into the psyche of how people think and operate. And it really helps not only to deliver the message, but it also delivers kind of for someone who may be working with someone who sees some of the signs, it's kind of the aha moment for them to let them know that, okay, we may have an issue here. It also works for someone who may not actually have become a perpetrator, but maybe they're engaged in some boundary crossing where they're getting too close to a student and they may see themselves in this training. So because of that, it's an outstanding training program, and it's a requirement that we have here at the JPA.
Some entities are trying to do things in-house or go to other sources to administer their claims, if you will. What's some of the benefits from joining your organization?
Well, in our organization, we're the best of both worlds. So we have on our, and again, I'll kind of focus on the risk side, which is property liability, workers' compensation. Not only we do provide coverage, and that's pretty clear what JPAs do, they provide coverages, but I think where we really shine and exceed is in our ability to identify things before they happen at the school site. So we have a team of professionals. They all have their associate in risk management, and those are the boots on the ground, and so that's our safety and loss control team. They're the ones that actually go out, they're in the trenches, they're at the districts, they're working with the districts side by side, neck and neck, and identifying things that could go wrong, regardless of what it is. That said, we know that there are times when you can put all the best practices and policy and have everything in place and still something's going to go wrong, and it results in a claim. And then we have a separate claims team that works alongside not one, not two, but 3 TPAs to ensure that those claims don't get out of hand, and that's another area that we shine in. We don't let our claims just sit and nothing happen. We try to get in, address it, and work with our districts and ensuring that not only will that claim never occur again, that incident, that we put in best practices and policies to prevent it, and make sure that from each of these we've learned something. The school has learned something. We can be better at what we do, and our ability that we pride ourselves in is being able to help our districts provide the educational content to our schools.
So, would you say that the institutional knowledge that your teams have help, like say for example, smaller districts who may only see a situation once every 10 years?
Well, I can give you an example of where our services really help those schools, particularly smaller ones. We have a dedicated training manager, and our dedicated training manager works with our benefits JPA in our districts, as well as our risk pool. So regardless of what kind of training you need, we cover everything. And she actually comes out to the district, she'll enroll your team, a district staff, she'll get them into the system. She will identify what trainings they need needs to take place to ensure they're in compliance. So it's really customized to each district. So those smaller districts can really benefit from the expertise of a dedicated training manager to work with them. And again, regardless of what type of coverage we're looking at. We are really trying to work with not only the district staff itself, but we also work with labor groups. We try to make sure we understand our labor members' needs, because those are the folks that at school districts are right on the front line. They're working with our students. They're supporting our classrooms in many different facets. And so we need to make sure that we have benefits that are really designed for them. A big area that we are focusing on is called total well-being, and it's really about taking time to take care of yourself. Kind of like what happens when you go into an airplane and they tell you that in the event of turbulence, put your mask on first and then that of the person next to you, the child next to you. We believe that the same thing applies when it comes to employee benefits, health and well-being. We want our employees to take care of themselves first, and the way to do that is to not only be aware of their numbers and keep those well visits appointments, but take time to relax and breathe and exercise, walk, drink water, and just really have a healthy lifestyle. And so we try to identify tools that will help our school members so that they can lead those healthy lifestyles, and in turn, they will be there for the kids.
Would you say that your organization truly helps drive cost reductions and therefore more dollars to the classroom?
I believe that is a focus. You know, one of the things I think about when I entered in this field, it's how can I contribute to education? I'm not a classroom teacher. I'm certainly not a school administrator, although I started my career as such. Now I'm sitting on this side of the fence, but how can I really contribute to student education and student achievement? And this is the way that we do it. We control dollars. We're very cost effective at the programs that we provide. We do all-inclusive to try to save money for our schools. And it's really about looking at the district, looking at their needs, mapping out what they need, not having additional costs, but really embracing an all-inclusive model. And that way, whatever that district needs as it pertains to the coverages that they're seeking from us, they're going to get from us. So whether it's training, it's policy development, it's reviewing contract language, it's helping with inspections or putting together some kind of curriculum, we're there for them. And we like to kind of consider ourselves as additional pair of hands to work with our members.
So if someone wants to reach out to you, how can they get a hold of you?
The best way, they can go on our website, which is simply www.csjpa.org, and click on that. They'll find myself, they'll find our team, they can find out everything about us. We can also be reached by telephone, and we have a local San Bernardino number, 909-763-4900.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.